Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today I want to chat about another Division universe topic. This is sort of in response to some comments I've been getting recently, but it's also something that I've just wanted to chat about for a little while. So what am I talking about? Well, that would be the Division ETF, the Elite Task Force. If you don't know what that is, I'll give a bit of a history here. Basically, this is a program that started back during the Division 1. I believe there have been 4 of them so far. The first one was ETF Alpha, which was part of Update 1.4 and a little bit of 1.5, I believe, for the Division 1. Next one was Bravo for 1.5/1.6. Then ETF Charlie was for 1.7 and 1.8. And then lastly, they did one of them for the Division 2, ETF Delta, which was around the time of TU6. And what is it? Basically, they being massive, went and selected 15 to 20 people, I want to say, for each one of these, which consisted of both content creators and streamers, as well as just, random people in the community and just general players of the game who had no online presence. They got a collaboration of all of these different types of people who liked PvE, PvP, all these different things in the game, and brought them all together to explain things to them, run ideas by them, show them things coming up in the next update, allow them to give feedback on different aspects of the game with the hopes of, crafting the best possible update that was coming up next for the Division game and its community. And in the past, these created some pretty successful updates, in my opinion. 1.4 was one of the most revolutionary and best updates for the Division 1 in order, in terms of getting things back on track. 1.6 was another really great one, in my opinion, while both 1.7 and 1.8 were held in high regard. And TU6 for Division 2 was kind of the beginning of the better changes for the game, which, culminated in Warlords. And so all of these updates and all this feedback has always, in my opinion, led to general success for the game and the health of the community. So what I think we need right now is an ETF that's larger than just one game. We need a Division Universe ETF meeting. Some of those comments that I mentioned earlier, whether these people are exaggerating or not, for a while I've got a lot of people that have said, oh, I forgot that Heartland and mobile was even a thing. Is that even real? They haven't shown us anything of either of those projects ever since they were announced back in May. Now, this kind of coincides with my idea of having a Division Con event. If you saw that video in the past few weeks, I basically just pitched the idea for having some sort of Division Universe yearly meetup, like games like Warframe and Destiny kind of do, just to, create some general hype every year and just a place for everyone to, focus all of their Division energy, I suppose. And so with the big and rapid expansion of the universe that we're currently seeing, it couldn't hurt for some community input, right? Not every Division fan is going to enjoy every type of Division Universe project from here on out, right? There's no world where that could really happen, and I doubt that many would want it to happen. People want different types of things to be available so that everyone has something to try. I'm personally ecstatic for Heartland, and it's very intriguing, to me at least, what they're planning to do on mobile, but I doubt that many people would object that it couldn't hurt for Ubisoft to get some sort of consensus of people's wishes and their expectations for the Division Universe going forward. They're at a really critical moment for this franchise that could really make or break its success going forward, right? I've talked to a lot of people that have basically sworn off Heartland because they, I don't even know, don't think they'll enjoy the type of game that they're speculating it's going to be. I mean, that's just kind of a dumb take, in my opinion, to have before anything official has been shown for the game, but it's a reality that Ubisoft should really be aware of, right? If they back themselves into a corner of producing several titles that the core audience isn't going to be interested in, that could spell disaster pretty quickly for them going forward. For example, for as many of us that want a big MMO open world type of Division 3 game, as I described in depth in my Dream of the Division 3 videos, I did 2 of them, and one of those is the most popular video I've ever made on this channel. I got hundreds and hundreds of comments from you guys saying you loved my idea and you added your own thoughts, and we, kind of collaborated to make this big vision of what we kind of want Division 3 to be. For as many people that want that, I'd say there's a sizable percentage, 60, 70%, that would rather have a Last of Us style story game instead. I've seen that idea, pitched a lot. And there's nothing wrong with people enjoying and wanting different experiences, but it's clear that there are a lot of different opinions among this community. And if Ubisoft goes in and greenlights a lot of projects based off of trends and financials, it might not go so well. So to reiterate, I think it's time for another elite task force focused on laying out the expansion of the Division universe and gaining these people's insights and inputs on the ideas they're thinking about and reflecting on their audience's views. The ETFs have always been a pretty favored and trustworthy event in the community from my recollection. Many members will put out like polls in Google Docs beforehand for people to submit their thoughts and questions that they can then ask at the event. That way they can prepare a bit beforehand to take notes to elevate the discussion. If something like this were to happen, it would certainly be NDA'd. But I think it would be just, be a way to begin to rekindle the trust between Ubisoft and Massive and Red Storm and the player base. That's not a huge, personal fear for me, right? I don't really have that much disdain towards any of those companies. They've created what is essentially my favorite gaming experience I've ever had, in these past 5 years of my whole life. And I've said I'm more excited now for the future of the Division franchise than I have been ever since they announced Division 2. But there are a lot of people who are skeptical or mad at Ubisoft for reasons. So I think this could be a good way to start bringing some of them back into the fold. Overall, I just see a new Division Universe expansion-centric ETF as having a lot of potential. It could allow Ubisoft to gain some really critical feedback and guidance on the various projects they're pursuing and kind of confirming the interest on those, and it could help generate some hype and PR for all of this stuff, and it could begin to mend the strained relationship between the publisher and the gamer that's been growing quite a lot lately. That said, thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you can be updated every time I upload. Leave your thoughts on today's topic down below. Could you see a new ETF team bringing some positive effect to the franchise as far as planning, feedback, all of that stuff goes? If not, what do you think would be a better solution or approach as the universe continues to expand? Let me know all of that. I'm certainly very curious what you guys are thinking about all of this. But yeah, everyone, once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until the next one, guys, RogueGold out.